More PUBG Europe contenders coming your way. And as always, you've got myself, James Banks, joined by the name is Toby. And we are ready once again to rock another 3 games your way for today and seeing what teams can turn up where and how things will go down. Because we're going back to a wrangle. We're going back to the tried and tested. But in terms of results, especially this week, it has not been any tried and tested. Only Tornado being consistent in the wins.
Yeah.
And that sees them currently in 2nd place, but still Gamerlegion chiming their way up. They've managed to get a 20-point lead ahead of anyone else.
That's been doing really well in that regard. Tornado Energy, they were up there. Then all of a sudden things went a little bit downhill, and then now they're back up there once again. So good to see that. And of course, we still have some of these teams. We saw Se7en yesterday get themselves an impressive 2nd place, and then Moonwolf, Avangar, these guys that we know can pull those wins off. Well, I mean, it's kind of now or never, because there's not a whole hell of a lot of games left, and in all honesty, I mean, Rankle hasn't really been either their strong suit.
And when you talk about it, right, you say now or never, it really is getting down to that point. We're getting to the last 2 days we have here for this week, and then we only have 1 more week ahead of it.
Yeah.
And yes, we can see on the standings that there are certain teams very close to each other in terms of making it out. But realistically, some teams we never even thought this would be an issue for. Riddle, they've always been a bit hit and miss, right? But we need a home. I would like. It just proves how stacked it is, and I can't keep coming back to this every single day saying the same thing, but it's this kind of lobby, right? The contenders this time around compared to Phase 1. Phase 1 was a lot more clear-cut. We saw certain teams step up, show their skills, and they were very confident in their ability. This time around, I don't think any team can be fully confident because it is truly any given day, anyone's day, they can shine.
It really is, and it's extremely hard to work around that fact. One team we talked about yesterday, and they're kind of just doing their own thing down there in 8th place. Well, I mean, that's Besiktas. They jumped themselves up to 7th. So a bit of a point reach in that regard. And of course, for those of you guys who haven't been here throughout the last half year of PUBG, you would not know what we're looking at right now, but that indeed is the point system. 10 points for win and 1 point per kill. La-di-da, have teams go out with 0 points placement.
You just said half a year. I can't believe it actually has been, hasn't it? We've literally been, we've been going at it in terms of what's been coming out of PUBG. And this is beautiful, right? The game is still young if you compare it to other games, other esports around. It's still a young game. And this is our first true season across the world for everyone else. You used to talk about all the other regions coming into play. And honestly, when you're looking at the skill, you're looking at the players continuing to improve and get better at playing PUBG in general, it is a beautiful thing to watch. And so is the 3 matches you will have today. Same times. As always, the only difference is in terms of the maps, but it's a wrangle all day long.
All day long. And some of these teams that we saw yesterday get some good things going on Miramar. Well, I mean, they haven't really been able to put up the same numbers lately on Wrangle. I'm looking at Zoekt Een Naam in all of this. Have not been doing what they've been able to pull off on Miramar over the last couple of games. For one team that has been able to do things like that will be Quickmath. I don't know how it is, but even like whether they get points and kills or not, they always seem to find a way into the late game. And who did we talk about last time? 4AK? They had a pretty good placement-wise, at least, showing on Monday. So let's see if they can pull it off again.
Every game within the top 8, I think, for 4AK when it came to the first set of wrangles. Miramar wasn't as pretty for them overall. They had a couple of games, I remember them getting at least good fights, good duels. Then there was that one at the end where we need a home caused a massive problem for them. They spent too long fighting in certain areas. We're getting down to the last phases. But what I do want to see today, I'm going to be nice today, Toby. Good circles, good games. All pleasure.
We know you're only saying this because then you know the opposite happens. And that was your plan all along, right? We figured it out a long time ago, James. You've been figured out long time ago. 4AK, they're gonna jump out early as the first game of the day comes to a start. I'm not expecting to see a whole lot of surprises, but one team I'm going to look for and seeing them jump out already is going to be Se7en. They did have that 2 out of 3 games jump down towards Milta Power. One in which they were contesting Avangar, another in which they got it to themselves. And that was with a plane path that even allowed for them to go Rosok, which has kind of become their main loot spot, I guess you can say. So should we get a plane that allows for them to go Milta, will be interesting to see if they up to go down southeast.
Yeah, it is some of those changes coming in, right, as we get towards the ending of the overall games we have here. 48 games in total. This is match 31.
Yeah.
And this is where things do start to change around for some teams, especially the ones that are kind of chasing their tail, so to speak, like your Avangars, right? And we mentioned Avangar a lot because it was a team when you go into this that you would 100% say, yeah, they would be in a really good spot. Interestingly enough, now we've seen this before We Need a Home and Moonwolf going to Yasnaya. And what happened last time was Moonwolf won one duel, pushed We Need a Home away. They went off towards Mansion, took some more of that area. And then the other time around, We Need a Home came back, beat them, and then Moonwolf just said, no, okay, we're not going here again. But it seems like they want to test it one more time as we look at this circle pop, and we're going to be up towards the southeast.
Yeah, pretty interesting to see them go up in that area of the map. Not something we've seen them do a whole lot, and honestly, I was pretty surprised to see them decide to go as Nia. But then again, of course, couldn't really get the plane they wanted east. They have been going down towards Novo, and that is even more of an isolated area of the map. So rarely you'll be benefited with a plane that allows for you to go there. And, well, I mean, this time around they didn't, and they knew that there was only one team inside of Yasnaya. And, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If there's only one team there and We Need a Home, they aren't exactly the most aggressive early game team. They'll just scoot out east, and then they'll give you some room. Circle, though, has gone up northeast, as we just saw a little second ago. And that's going to opt for some interesting rotations. Mills of Power is open. The entire east side out by Lipovka and whatnot is open as well. That's where we've seen Moonwolf go before as well. But once again, Plane didn't really opt for eastern jump in that regard. So there should be plenty of rooms for teams to rotate out east. But whether they actually will or not, that's going to be the big question.
And this is one of these circles really we haven't seen massive amounts of, right? And it's one where we sit there and say, okay, this is where it gives other teams a chance to kind of just shine and show themselves as actual, their ability to not adapt based on pure knowledge, but also adapt to the changes that are happening around them, like the ones where we've got Moonwolf and We Need a Home being together. How do these other teams deal with it once they see, oh, wait a second, this is a bit more occupied than we normally expect?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun to follow all these teams from the west trying to make their way up over. Because do they go out east? That's where, I guess, should the next circle continue to go north, that's where they'll have the benefit of not having to crossing any bridges.
Yeah.
Should they not decide to do so, that's gonna be them having to figure out which bridge they're trying to make the cross on over. Avangar looting North George. Not really anything new. The only thing I'm wondering is how Asterin went down to half HP. I guess there was some jumping and vaulting that didn't really work his way. That's what you get, you know. I mean, when you have the whole now that they got leaping and ledge grabbing, they implemented that today with the current live patch. It's not in the event server, though. And that's what makes it interesting. So these guys have been sitting and playing in the public servers all day, gotten used to being able to jump around in the roofs and ledge grab all over the place. Then they come in here, oh, wait, no! And they go down in HP.
I like that decision, though, right? Because you play out the rest of the games as if it's exactly the same as what's been happening. So let's not change it up until maybe we get on to the next stages after this, right? Maybe when we get over towards the Kickoff Cup.
Yeah, well, I would probably bet phase 3 this one, because then they can time it with probably both having the
newer angle.
I was going to say both the ledge grab and all that, and also maybe if we're lucky enough, get the newer angle in play.
I'd love to see the newer angle in play. I don't want them to rush it at all. Like I want it to be. Yeah. They've tested everything. They're very happy with it because obviously we've got another angle at the moment, which is these. You've left yourself in the open a little bit there, buddy, and you are all alone. You don't have teammates too near you either. This is going to be problematic. You can see already, if you're looking at the map screen, ladies and gentlemen, that Nemerith is going to try and make his way up there, but you're going up against pretty much a full stacked up Zen here, who don't want to push it just yet. And I respect this because they know this is early. It could cost them a lot, and it's not something that's maybe worthwhile doing when you don't know if he's there on his own or not.
Unnecessary aggression tends to be... it tends to get penalized pretty heavily, especially when you go up against teams like PG18. So smart from Zoekt Een Naam to leave. And also just a quick note, I mean, I was sitting watching some streams earlier today on Twitch, and I watched the... Oh, folks, hold that thought. You want to get some shots in as well there? Yeah, I wonder where that came from. How did they meet each other? No, but I was watching some of the guys from Zoekt Een Naam play, and they were all playing together. So normally during the day, people just group up with friends and whatnot, but they were sitting 4 guys, same squad, playing normal games, just doing different things and keeping the vibes good and high. And you know what? I love to see that.
Well, yeah, the more time you spend together as a team, even if it's just having some public fun games, the better it is in just terms of communication and building that rapport with your team.
Exactly. Now, both Avangar, Besiktas, Zoekt Een Naam, PG18, I should say, and Winside are all the red teams on the west, going up against the rainbow teams on the east. And
The rainbow teams, I love it.
well, I mean, there's a lot of different colors, and it couldn't really come up with one color scheme for all of those.
Red
I guess it's
versus
mainly
the
blue.
rest.
Yeah, red versus everyone.
But no, this is interesting what you're pointing out there, right? Is this Avangar, Zen, Besiktas, and PG18, all teams who not directly have the similar style. Obviously, Avangar and Besiktas, yes, they do. But these heavy hitters all meeting very early on could end up where we see a world, if they do start the fight, doesn't actually benefit any of them.
Yeah. That's what they want to, of course, try and avoid. But it's not always as easy as it sounds. Arco, he's up close. He has a chance to get a good nade thrown in there. Does throw it forward. First one did some damage. Second one, not quite so.
Oh, Lipson taking a lot of damage towards him. Occo needs to be careful, though, because, yes, he's got his teammates in the back lines, but a lot of the We Need a Home players are pushed up upon each other.
See Polyderic trying to fall back. Lipson falls back down behind that tree as well. They know the direction that Shot and Arco are in, and you can see they're buying time right now because Risu and Edgicast, they're coming in from the other angle. I don't think either, or any, honestly, of the We Need a Home players are ready for this.
Yeah, this could be too much for them to handle. Washout looking, trying to see if he can spot anyone else moving. Does catch a glimpse of Lipson. Rita as well. Shots are being landed. No knocks coming in yet. And
Yeah,
quite a nice spot here. That's really good. The smart run around.
Really nice push, but they gotta care. They are 2-2 split, so it could become a dangerous positioning for them. Polyderic, he's still alive, but he's going to be the last remaining player. Edgicast did get knocked, but not a whole lot more came from that. Polyderic, though, he cannot be allowed to get the flash on towards Edgicast now.
Yeah, this makes it very interesting. Resu unsure if he wants to go for it or not. Polyderic taking some more damage. Okko's wanting to get involved as well, knows exactly what's happening here. But can he predict how far down he's gone?
Don't go over aggressive here, Okko. Don't go over aggressive. You took it this far. You got 3 guys down without losing a single player. You do not want to have a casualty now. Oh, he saw him, I think.
Not easy to see either.
I'm pretty sure he saw him, but again, is it worth the risk? If he jumps down there, he has to go just like Polyderic all the way around, and that's simply going to be too dangerous with Warrior K shooting over towards you.
I'd be more than happy if they just back away and leave it.
Yeah, you got 3 kills, you know, that's a good start. Sure, you want to get the whole elimination and all that, but no reason for you to over-aggress in this.
Oval. Spotting everything else, looking at the rotation that Besiktas are making. He took a few shots at first, but doesn't want to push into it or chase him down, especially as he is on his own. His teams are close, as you can see now on the map, but it's distance enough where it could have been a problem for him.
You see Quickmath, they're split thin right now, and the circle goes up towards him once again. I want to see Tuho, mainly actually Misa. Yeah, Misa already on the vehicle. I was going to say I want to see them either go for a 2-2 split now or go full committed 4 guys together, because what could happen here, we're looking at Besiktas. I was just going to say they could be crashing on in, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Insolenso and Quickmath, they have lost this a lot of times already. And normally, well, people know it's a Quickmath player going down. That's because they're split. There's going to be no safety coming in. And Besiktas get themselves a compound.
You saw it happening, didn't you, Toby? You knew exactly that this could be the thing that works out, and it does go with the pan to the face of Peltzid, and sees Quickmuff down 2 players. Tuo, Yuo, and Miss are going to be the only ones left alive now, and this is not what they would have wanted. This is the problem when you are split up, right? If you're going to be split up into two splits, there needs to be either a space where you can cover each other, as in the other 2 cover the current 2, or you've got to be really on your A game that you're pushing people away from early, because you just got rolled up on and ripped apart then.
Page just got a nice headshot from a distance on towards Gifted. There's not a whole lot more you can do when you're him up in the hill right there. He's going to take it and go down. And honestly, I mean, had it been one of those, sure, one time, okay, it didn't work this split, let's do something else next time. That's one thing, but they have lost players in trying to have this split so many times when these circles shifted up north. And honestly, when it comes to the pop, you saw Misa immediately on the vehicle ready to rotate, but the remaining 2 players in Tuho and Peltzid and Silenzo, I believe it was, they were just not ready at all. They should not have been down there at that point. When you're up north here, there's simply not enough compounds available for you to not anticipate a full 4-man crash in towards you.
Now, Avangar, we've seen them yesterday, right? They had times where we were praising them, they kept 4 alive to a good position, yet still couldn't make it work. Something is amiss with these guys, and we're yet to see them step up to the level we have seen them do before. So, can today be the day? I'm not too sure. I can never be confident in this at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can keep saying, should it be today? Oh, I hope they get it going today. But every day they don't. That's us losing losing more and more hope in the fact that it's actually going to happen. So fingers crossed, of course, for them that they'll get things turned around here with 3 games today. And then we have PEL Derek, the Murloc, just chilling down by the water.
The Murloc. I love it. I love it. And this is the best thing he can do at the moment, right? He's well aware that this is too much for him to handle at the moment. It's just about trying to grind out any placement points if he can. Because his team, they did meet a very quick death.
Yeah, they were not in for an easy one. I gotta give kudos to Moonwolf. I mean, I like the way they engaged it. They had the 2 players trying to hold the angle and not even care so much about getting the shots connected. It was more of a keep looking at us, keep looking at us, keep looking at us.
Yeah.
Because in the meantime, Edgicast and Resu were coming in from the other side. And they played it perfectly there. Really, really well done.
Yeah, and little smart plays like that is what will secure you in getting those kills, right? But also not losing a player while doing it.
Most importantly, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Especially when we come up into these areas. I mean, we can get 3 very different endings. If it goes west, we're out in the open. We've seen those before. They're brutal. If we go east, we're going into the hills. If we go south, well, it's either going to be open or into Naya. So a lot of different scenarios available here. We'll know in just a couple of seconds.
Bot going to find himself being knocked down there from Tornado. They've got 4 AK and Avangar close by. The circle's shifting all the way out west. Shooting ranges and Severny are just about included in it. Zen's got a very central position off the back of it.
Yeah, they are split. Then you can see Vasco trying to get into the vehicle. He's going to be forced to make a leave from there. That's just one little shack by himself, and Ival as well. He's going to get rolled up on now. Vasco, where do you go? Do you go to Ival to try and help him, or do you go over towards T-Bone and Page because they're saving Ival's down immediately?
Yeah, no, that's not going to work out for him. Zen split apart, getting picked apart. T-Bone's able to try and get a few shots off, but he won't get the finishes in there. Winside are too far away. And Winside, yesterday, they showed us some solid games coming out from them.
Yeah.
Can they continue it here on a wrangle? This will be the next thing, because they have been a team where they don't get scared from these bigger names, right? They're always willing to go and take the fights. They're not one where I say, oh, they're backing away, and it's actually one when they should take it.
No, I mean, they know they have the skill set needed in order to deal with pretty much anyone in this lobby, and they've proven it. Time and time again, Misa landing some shots towards Maxisol, forcing 2 of the Avangar players. Make that 4 of the Avangar players into a very tight space here.
That's never what you want to see, is it? Never what you want to see.
Not exactly optimal.
Yes, you're in the circle, but my God, 1 shack, no vehicles now, just a few smokes as well. Maxisol's got his bolt out, and he's saying, all right, got to go to work, boys. Got to do what I do best and try and knock some players.
Yeah, they need to knock some players and then some more if they want to have any type of room and sitting around here. Asterin is trying to make the YOLO push away from there. Gets in the vehicle, starts driving now as well. Trying to get into some sort of safety. Noctiv is there to try and help him out. Meanwhile, we see Melman not really doing anything whatsoever. Just chilling, trying to look down towards Gamerlegion. Not doing anything at all.
Gamerlegion are continuing to impress us over and over again. New player affects the lineup, or the newest player to that lineup has been strong. Is that really 4AK down?
Yeah.
Wow.
Vehicle explosion. The team that came from Stalber couldn't seem to find their way down the mountain, and they were in for a rough one when they finally got those vehicles out into the open terrain. Gamerlegion was sitting there waiting for them, and Tornado Energy had shots fired down in their direction as well, and that was the vehicle explosions that you would not want to have happen.
We Need a Home will be very happy with that, even if it's just Polyderic left alone, currently swimming away, playing that Murloc game like you said. I think here, though, for We Need a Home, right, even though you have overtaken 4AK now, just having one alive, trying to get placement points off the back of it, the best thing you can hope for is probably some kills. So unless we see some crazy solo play come out from Polyderic, I don't think it's going to change too much here.
Yeah, it depends on the next circle shift, of course. If he can maybe get up to that yellow house that is just on his northwestern side, there's a chance, but it's outside of the circle, and I doubt he's going to be able to do anything from this spot. But then again, I mean, it is that solo player sometimes that can stay hidden for the longest of time. And in all honesty, it's only really Moonwolf that know that a player was missing, because the other team that was shooting, that was 4AK, and they've just been eliminated.
Shots, shots, shots. That's what everyone is getting involved in right now. And that's because it's going to be who can make it to where fastest.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky circle, this one. There's not a whole lot of terrain up for grabs. And right now, Besiktas, Quickmath, and arguably Zoekt Een Naam is sitting pretty well in it. Tornado Energy, they have the northeastern side of the circle. And teams that we're seeing right here on your screen, like Desperados, like Riddle, Down in the south, they need to make some sort of rotation, but where the hell do you go in this one? Is that a vehicle?
I don't know. Yeah, I just looked at you as if like, what is that noise?
I don't know.
Sounds like a car that's like really struggling to go uphill somewhere.
I don't know what sound it is, but Bjorn, he's going to go down. The rotation comes in. He was trying to do the front rolling with the vehicle, with the bike, that is. Trying to make some space for his teams, but he's going to go down immediately, unfortunately so. And now we see all the other guys trying to make those inevitable rotations, and it ain't going to be easy. Quickmath pulling up on one team. Quickmath getting finished off there. Gamerlegion securing the kills. Desperado's now trying to make the full push over towards Zoekt Een Naam. Vasco gets one down towards Calvin. Page went down just before. We saw Ivel go down earlier, so that should leave just one player up and alive.
Is them not getting it to work out in their favor. We need a home of the next to go down. Polyderic was the solo player left alive. It's the best thing he can hope for here. For Zen, Vasquez got plenty of nades coming out towards him. He is managing to stay alive for now, but pressure is being applied. Desperado are the ones that are doing it.
Yeah, the thing is, the longer Vasco can stay put up here, the better. I mean, if he can somehow have other teams deal with Desperados and he can just chill inside the building for a little while longer, that could potentially give him a whole lot of breathing room if they go down, because there's not really anyone anywhere near him other than them.
And Desperado yesterday, right, had some games where they looked like it could have been games that went for them. Very nice rotations, good at playing off the edge of the circle, but they weren't actually able to get within placement points that many times. It's just kills that they were picking up.
See Hamster getting himself a finish up on towards Edgecast from a distance. Good finish off coming in there. They did manage to take out two of the players on this side, and it worked out for them. But now no tag team pushing up towards Se7en Esports. Frank already left, and that's going to leave Buster and Edelweiss all alone.
Wow, Vasco. He's able to do so much damage as a solo player. Incredible stuff from him as this battle between Se7en and no tag team continues to go on. And guess who's getting the hell out of there? It's going to be Buster. His teammates have gone, and he knew there was no chance in this. And he's hoping that he can solo it up into some points, if possible, alongside Frank.
Yeah, good disengage from him right there. He's going to try and claim the shack to himself. Not sure if he's going to get there. Shots are indeed being fired towards him. Frank is trying to drive over there in the open as well. Buster just exactly makes it inside. And now it's Frank's turn to try and do the exact same thing. But is it going to be possible? The bike stops. He runs around the corner, gets in, and we got two guys in the shack.
It's going to be the Love Shack City baby for all of these teams as we get less and less compounds in.
I was just about to start singing too.
I managed to fit it in somehow. Had to be done. For Vasco and Se7en, right, because of them now being low on numbers, you've both got shacks, yeah, but you've got probably full squads or three-man teams that could easily just roll on you and say, well, I'm going to take this now.
Speaking of three-man teams that could roll on you, Winside, they're going to full speed and make their way over towards Zoekt Een Naam, and that's going to be the elimination eventually. Zoekt Een Naam does go out in 12th place. They did manage to get a couple of kills with him, but not a whole lot more than that.
Jupziki is just waiting out. He's like, come on, I can see your toes. Let me blast them off.
Yeah, they need to like these shots too, because they're not inside the circle yet themselves either. So the more space they can make for themselves once they do start their rotation, the better off they would be. Northern Lights trying to make their drive on forward. They're going to full speed forward, make their move over towards Moonwolf. They're sitting tight waiting for them, but here comes Squizzy and Deep around the corner. Deep gets one, tries to hold the angle on towards the second, does go down himself, gets flushed, but Rissa will eventually go down. The push became too much for them to handle.
That was actually a really good hold, though, all things considered, because he was massively outnumbered there. They were struggling to finish him off.
That's why you need that M249.
Just spray and pray.
Just hold it all. Hold it all. Didn't work.
But I like what Northern Lights did there. They didn't want to use any utility on pushing into this. So they didn't spend anything, which could be very vital from coming into the latter stages of this.
You say that, but they actually did throw two smokes. And you think, how can two smokes work when you drive vehicles? That's going to be Max's so odd. And it worked because they were blocking off the vision they had towards them. So by the time they'd be through those smokes, the vehicles would already be on the wall, and they could not be spending time nading and whatnot. So it actually worked out extremely well for Northern Lights getting it. Sure, they did lose a player, or two players make that. But smart and well-coordinated push nonetheless.
Sure, gonna drop the Molotov down in front of Diaz. He's going to go and get the flush though. That's what he's going to be looking for. Yannick's already made his way far away from that. Wants to push up into the same area though as where Gamerlegion is. Maybe not the best choice for him. Can he do anything here? Instantly prones down. He's aware that they could be close.
That nade is thrown not outside the window. No, he tried to bounce it off the wall. Did not really work out the way that he wanted it to. Mackin's on the other side of the building too, trying to pinpoint Yannick's position. But with some smokes, he should be able to, I mean, at least force him to hold it a little while longer.
I like this though from Yannick. Not going to sit in the smokes, puts them forward. It means if they do push around the side, they might think maybe he's trying to use it as cover in there.
They don't know where he is at all. They're throwing nades inside the shack now. Well, I mean, the circle coming to him, that's going to leave him up and alive for at least a little while longer. You can see Mackin and Hamster, they're pretty convinced that he's actually inside the building. They're holding the angles really defensively, and Yannick just keeps on smoking in that direction, trying to buy himself some more time. And, well, who knows, potentially some placements too.
Yeah, smart stuff coming out from Yannick. Riddle. Ooh, headshot's going to be landed there from Hanny. All right, that's some distance as well. I like to see it. Going to continue to take some more shots, but this time onto the Winside players. There may only be one kill up here at the moment for Riddle, but they do have 4 players alive, and they're in a good spot. They've got the full north and west side of this current circle.
See Hanny, bro. Trying to continuously land those shots over towards the no-tag players. Only one guy up on his feet right now trying to get the rest up on towards O'Connell. But with the circle closing in already, I mean, they won't have a lot of time. And then the thing is, even if they do get rest, where the hell do you go from there?
Oh, this is getting a little bit awkward now. You've got Tornado, Gamerlegion, Yannick on his own, Perfectix and Quizzy from Northern Lights, as well as Besiktas just on the back lines of it all.
Yeah. And that's where this circle gets so interesting, because realistically, you have, what, 10% of it you can actually play from. Everything on the south is just open uphill run, and there is not a whole lot of terrain available. Busta is going to get himself knocked, unfortunately. There's one of the guys in the shack. He does have Frank there to rest him, but again, same thing for them as to as the no-tag team. Where do you go, even though he does get rest?
Quizzy managing to get the knock onto Tomil. Can he get the finish off in there? Time will tell as he goes up against Ultra, who lands the headshot. And, well, Quizzy gets a taste of his own medicine. Perfectus will try and bring him back up. And Nade cooks out and takes down Tomil. But Ultra wants to push on this.
Yeah.
Simsy's there as well. But Lux has been taken out by Melman. This isn't working out well for them at all. The fire is all on the floor. And Perfectix, is he aware for him to be this close? No, he's not. Ultra manages to get it done. Quizzy's very low on health. He could be going down. And Ultra goes on the cleanup duty.
Impressive play from Ultra. Knew that he had to go and do something. They were getting pinned down in the open. The smokes were only going to last him so long, and he needed to make a play, and indeed he did. Impressive feat from him, getting the first knock with the hard peek holding behind the vehicle. He knew he only had one angle to cover, and he got himself the knock in there, allowing for him to push on forward. Got the finish offs as well and secured his team, at least for now, a 7th place finish. Tornado Energy finally creeping in towards the warehouse here as well. They have been on the, well, I guess you can say the quiet end of things in this game so far. Haven't really been forced to take too many fights, so they should have plenty of Kevlar and utility left remaining. New circles popping, and James, you know what? There's no one in it. Oh, I'm lying. Henny Bro's in it. Henny is actually in the south.
This is looking like a real good game for Riddle here if they can keep this up.
Yeah.
Not just in where the circle's gone, but in terms of just how it's been all panning out for what they've been able to do and taking fights against teams and just how much control they've had. No one is there on the western side other than Riddle for the past 2 circles.
Something like that. They've had the entire west themselves. Everything has been about the northeast, and the whole focus has been on this exact building. Tornado Energy, they know they need to either push through or around, and seems like they want to be able to contain Gamerlegion rather than try and push into it. Hamster. He's holding the angle as best as he can. They're only 2 guys up, but honestly, they've been putting up a good fight here.
So much utility has been used to hold these positions. Tornado want to try and push into it. Damage done, but no knocks coming in. They'll both just back away a little bit.
I like that Tornado Energy is hesitant. There's no reason in getting in there. It's going to be outside the circle anyway. Do not over-aggress, even though we get a player knocked now. Play it safe, play it smart. Do not risk anything going for the YOLO play.
And they have no idea how many people are actually in there either, right? So, yes, we can see there's 2, but Tornado don't have that information just yet. And remember, Yannick is still prone there this entire time.
Smoke off both sides and wait for them to come out on the other side. I was gonna say, but they go for the aggressive play, and Melman goes down, fortunately. Aaliyah is there for the rescue play. Aaliyah was the hero player yesterday as well in their Miramar win. So impressive that he gets this one off. But Yannick, he's still around, and I don't think that Tornado Energy has ever noticed him there.
No, Tornado already busy trying to look up towards the Riddle. Bombing some shots in the dark on through the smokes as example.
When does Yannick start shooting, though? That's going to be an interesting thing, because he must know that there's plenty of players around, and it's mainly one team there. Now one player around the corner, he shoots immediately, gets the double knock in there. Not a whole lot more from it, though. 2 knocks, finished off 1, but not a whole lot more to do.
Good effort from him.
Sure. Look at who is looking to third party on it. That's going to be both Ultra and Clip, and that's going to be the full-on wipe on towards the guys in Tornado Energy. Just one sneaky snake can ruin it all for you.
And Riddle, we spoke about the control they had of the circle for so long now. Now they've come alive into the kills as well, wiping out Tornado. And now they've only got 3 players in total to find. 1 on Besiktas and 2 on Se7en.
Keep in mind that I was just going to say that Se7en is still alive. They somehow, after that full sprint forward crash into the shack, actually have managed to find themselves into a top 3 placement this game.
And Zinzan, yeah, he may not have the kills, but he's been doing tons of damage. All we've done is seen him do active amounts of damage. He's been playing this really well. Ultra's going to be picked off next, which is a respectable 3rd place for Besiktas, all things considered.
4v2 now for Riddle. They have been sleeping on us for the last couple of days, but here they have a chance to start off the day real strong with a win. And, we know they have the capabilities, but Buster and Frank still alive. Make that just Frank left remaining.
Yeah, Buster gets found real quick, and Zinzan straight in to flush him out. Frank completely alone. Now, there is a world in where he might be able to take a challenge a bit here. Starts off well onto Zinzan. Will get the knock. Can he get the kill? Spraying out. Runs out of bullets, and he's like, no, I want the kill. He won't get it done. Oh, that's unfortunate there.
So close. Pulled out the Kar98, but in the end, did not work out for him. 7 kills though and a win for Riddle. That's a good effort, good game put up from them. They were on the quiet side, as we said. They were sitting on the western side, but there's no reason to over-aggress. They said, let's hold it, let's wait. There's going to be chaos up in that barn. Chaos happened. They waited till it was done. Chaos number 2 happens with Yannick. Boom, that's when your third party get yourself the guaranteed placement points.
They took control of that's the main thing, right? You don't have to just go in and get the kills. Yes, they would have liked more kills as if everyone 1.1 kill, it's the dream.
Sure.
But it's at what risk? If you go too aggressive, then you die off early, and then you don't actually take a win.
Well, we saw it so many times. I mean, even here, Moonwolf Akko was, Akko, stay back, stay back, stay back, don't do it. Sure, you can get 1 kill, but if it costs you a player that you didn't need to lose, that kill might not have been worth it in the end. So I agree with you completely. I mean, kills are always good to get.
This was a good one. Look at the timing.
We saw it happen so many times, too. This was the exact same way that that Ivel went down for Zoekt Een Naam when he was trying to leave the compound that he was in. It's just a matter of these teams being able to push these compounds so damn quickly.
Polyderic, all things considered, tried to hang on as long as possible. But it didn't work out too well for him. Ended up going out in 14th place.
I think this is the fewest kills I've ever seen Se7en get of a top 3 placement. They had 1 kill this game.
What, is that it?
Yeah.
I guess you lost 2 very early on, right?
Yeah. But still, they got 1 kill this whole game and got 2nd place. That's what I'm saying. It's very, very rare to see them be this passive. But as you said correctly right there, they did lose 2 of their guys extremely early on. Didn't really help the situation whatsoever. Vasco tried to stay alive. It became shack wars all over the place. We saw it yesterday a couple of times as well on Miramar to finish things off. But in the end, Riddle to take home the win. And that was an important one for them too, because they were starting to fall down there between all those other teams. But now finally, things going their way. And who knows, looking at the leaderboards after this game, things could change up a bit.
Honestly, at one point, I really thought Tornado were going to be able to take that. But what a way for that to go down. You saw it, Hanny, bro. He just saw what was going on. He could have a good idea of it. Clip took some shots as well. And they picked him apart, no problems at all. Just as they got, obviously, kind of blindsided by Yannick, right? Exactly.
That was a unfortunate situation. And kudos to Yannick, of course, for committing to it all the way through. He didn't have to shoot immediately, but knew, well, it's going to be now where I have the element of surprise, or it's going to be when they spot me, and it's going to be a 50-50 what's going to happen. More like a 5% chance of him winning against 4 players when he's prone like that. But he got himself a point with it, stayed alive for a little while longer, and sure made it hard, practically impossible for Tornado Energy to do anything.
Now, am I right in saying I called out that I wanted a fair game? This was a fair game?
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really open, so it's hard to play it. But sure, it was. I mean, nobody. That's what I like when you have these circles. Sure, a couple of them went up towards the barn or the warehouse here, as we see. But it was never the guys that were in the barn that ended up just getting circles and circles and circles and just sitting tight, because there was fights happening up there all the time. So arguably, you wouldn't even be better off by being the one up in the barn. So I agree with you. It was a good game, good win for Riddle. Again, sure, they didn't get a lot of kills with it, but a 7-kill win is a very, very respectable one.
1 down, 2 more to go in terms of the games that are here. And still plenty of points to be had by these teams. That was such a funny ending as well. I can't believe we ran out of
Let
That's
me
just
flash.
so unlucky. So unlucky.
Got to give it to Besiktas, though, getting in there in 3rd place with 9 kills to it as well. They came in early, they took the position, they saw they had an opportunity, they knew there was a split going on, at least they sensed it, and they managed to get the jump on towards the Quickmath players before they managed to get out of the compound, and 9 kills with it too. That's an impressive feat for them. And then Tornado, we talked about them yesterday, they finished off the day with a win. Now they come in here with a 3rd place, and 4th place, make that, and a lot of kills with it too. I mean, we already have them in 2nd place. They were tied, now they're probably sitting in it by themselves. This could be a good game for them.
That was really interesting if we go back to looking at those standings, was just that no tag team. They finished 7th, but managed to get 7 kills alongside it. So solid stuff from them. They were active.
For sure.
Now, who are we looking for damage-wise? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, Hanny didn't hit it. Okay, maybe he didn't hit it. Well, he's at the very last. He's on 416, but from what we were seeing from him, I thought maybe he'd have a bit higher up on there.
They were just not shooting until late game. I mean, once it came late game, they were shooting all over the place, but early on, they were being rather passive, and you can see it in the damage comparisons as well. Twice the amount of damage, even more than that, but only 2 more kills going in the favor of Besiktas. They were on the contrast to Riddle, shooting at absolutely everything from start to finish. Yeah,
quite the difference in that one as we look at Hannibro go up against Ultra, and well, kills galore for both of them, but it's the headshot kills impressive from both these sides here. Ultra, he was the man that pushed up on Northern Lights and stopped them from getting any further in it. So we look at our currently updated statistics and standings as it all comes in. And it hasn't really changed too much this time around.
Besiktas had a 20-point jump up towards whatever team was in front of them yesterday. Make that 20-point jump a 5.1. They sure as hell have managed to catch up, and it's impressive to see.
Yeah, they're looking to try and sneak their way further up here, get some more money within it, and there's plenty of games to do it if they can keep this up.
Sure, and Riddle with that win as well, sitting just 5 points away from potentially making it to Berlin. That's exactly what they're looking for, of course. I mean, at this point, I don't think they're going for the win of the actual tournament itself. It's just out of like 13 or higher, or 12 plays or higher. 12 plays or higher is what they want, and with the win in that first game, it's going to put them in the right direction.
All right, well, we're going to go to a break as always, guys. And when we come back, we'll be going into match number 2 on a wrangle and seeing how this one will go down.